Hey, happy Sunday. Hi, everybody. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. It's been a while, hasn't it? So I see Dano is the first one in the room. Figured he would be happy because we are going early in the day. So hang on here so I can pay attention to the chat. And Dano's got the lights on. Hello, 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 hello. And oh my gosh, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I just saw Sawar. Hopefully I'm saying your name right, and thank you for the gift. I tweet at you because I didn't know how else to say thank you to get a hold of you. But it was greatly appreciated. So, everybody, happy Sunday. We're going a little early today because of the Super Bowl. I'm not a big Super Bowl fan. I'm not huge into sports except for fishing because it's the only real man sport. And being a marketer, I do somewhat like the ads, although this year I'm eating pizza. And I got out of the hospital about a week ago, and I've been eating well. I mean, salads and trying to watch everything, but I'm going to splurge and order pizza for the Super Bowl. And I'm excited. I don't think I've ever been so excited for pizza in my life. Pizza, pizza, pizza. I am so excited. So we have Eddie and Derek moderating the chat today. It's interesting that the last time we did a chat, we had an interview with City, and then we did some current events. And I said, as we move forward, I want to provide value. I actually want to produce a show every week and provide value. And then I got sick and went into the hospital. So this show is. And again, I'm still having problems breathing. So I'll tell you the story. And some of you might know the story already because you follow along. And I'm going to tell you the story that I like. And it's not necessarily the story that the doctors believe, because I got one doctor to kind of humor me and go, maybe. But they were not able to really figure out why I have blood clots in my lungs. So, about 6 weeks ago, I was walking up the stairs and a bat flew by my head. And I was startled. I was really, really startled. It caught me off guard. I'm lucky I didn't fall down the stairs, actually. I wish I had followed the bat to see where it went, but it took me a while to really figure out what just flew by my head. I've never had a bat flow by my head before. So the only room that was unlocked, door open, was my bedroom, or where I'm sleeping. I'm at my mom's house trying to clean it up and get back to LA. But so then, I looked for the bat in the room and I couldn't find it. So I put a broom, because we all go on the internet and we start reading, bats and rabies and all this stuff. And it was kind of a little scary. In fact, first couple nights, I don't think I slept well. And so I had a broom there, and a couple weeks go by and everything's fine. And I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden this bat starts flying above me. And that's pretty scary. Oh my gosh, that's scary. And so I grabbed the broom and I went chasing it around the house. And I fell once. I was just in my boxers. I mean, I'm glad it was 2 a.m. Because the neighbors through the picture window, which I usually leave the curtain open, but it's snowy, sunny out, and too bright. So I chased the bat around for about 10 minutes. I mean, it took a while. Those things don't fly straight. It fell once, and then when I went and laid down, I couldn't breathe. And it was, when I'm here, and I think we've talked about it because we've talked about depression and other things. When I'm here in upstate New York, I don't do a lot. I mean, I'm normally sitting at a desk, working in this laptop. So I started breathing really, really heavy. But I figured it was just because I'm out of shape. And, I eventually went to bed. And the next day it was a little worse and a little worse. Even right now, it's still a little tight. So I thought I had bronchitis. So when you have bronchitis, what do? Orange juice and, feed a fever, starve a fever, whatever it is. And so I just thought I was coming down with a cold. I knew it wasn't COVID because I'm here. There's no other people. There was no other symptoms, but so that was good. I knew it wasn't COVID, but I was concerned if I went to the emergency room with breathing problems. Thank you very much, Anonymous. If I went to the emergency room with breathing problems, all these, red flags would go up and they'd put me through this COVID thing and everything else. And I just, again, I thought it was bronchitis or something. And just was kicking it, and every day it started getting breathing harder. So I knew something was wrong. I knew something very serious was wrong. But like I said, I didn't want to go to the emergency room with trouble breathing. I figured I would wait until Monday and go to my real doctors or my, general practitioner Monday morning and have them call the hospital. That way, the doctor could say he doesn't have COVID. It's just breathing problems. So it got to be Sunday and I tweeted it out, and I have a bunch of wonderful friends, just like you guys, but two of them happen to be medical professionals. One is an emergency room physician. We have interviewed her here on this channel. She's an emergency room doctor in New York City. And another one is a physician doctor up near San Francisco Bay Area. And they both kind of tag team me, and I ended up going into the emergency room. So they first, they gave me 2 COVID tests. One was like a 5-hour one, and then they decided to give me a 10-minute test. I had not been to the hospital. Now, this is, the hospital where my mom went all the time. So I know the hospital quite well. But this was pre-COVID, so everything was completely different. And they started doing tests, and I mean, it was if I went to the bathroom at night, just walking to the bathroom and back to bed, I couldn't breathe. I mean, it was getting really bad. I mean, just sitting here, I couldn't breathe. And that's really what the doctor, my friend, Bay Area doctor, because she called and she says, Mark, you know, you're breathing heavy right here on the phone. You've got to go in. So I went in and they started testing. They started testing, but I'm still out in the lobby. I'm not like admitted into any room. And they're doing blood tests and they're doing all these different things. And, basically they're troubleshooting. And I was feeling good about it. I was feeling good, like, nothing serious, maybe it is bronchitis. In fact, I picked on the emergency room doctor, my friend, because I said, if I don't have any serious, you're buying dinner next time I go to San Francisco. And all of a sudden they come back, an intern comes back, or a resident physician, and they admit me and they don't tell me what's up yet. And they did do a CT scan. So it turns out I have blood clots in my lungs. And if you look at lungs, you got your lungs and your blood vessels. If they're here in the main arteries, that's really bad. But and this is bad too, I had blood multiple on the smaller arteries. Which is really serious. And then even now I'm trying to limit myself. Those rants you all love? They probably aren't coming back till next week or until I feel 100% better. So they admitted me, and then what they do is they start giving you blood thinners. So they gave me blood thinners through an IV for 3 days, which was pretty serious. And I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that they took care of me. I'm grateful that I have Obamacare that could pay for it. It was the first time of being in the hospital where I wasn't medicated. Like, I've had surgeries before, and, they give you morphine or oxy or something, right? And you sleep most of the time, right? So this, you're wide awake because all they're doing is giving me blood thinners. And it was, I thought I was going to die of boredom. Oh my gosh. So the last day, and I'm in what they now have, I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like a limbo room. So I was in the emergency room for quite some time, most of a day, and then they moved me into this limbo room, which is about 7 beds, and it's something that hospitals have now done because of COVID. So it's not like it's a nicer bed, it's a nicer a care experience, but it's not like a room upstairs. And to be quite frank, even though I live in a small town, the hospital was full up, so there's no beds. So they moved me into this thing, kind of like a limbo ward. And I was there for 2 days, and all of a sudden a doctor comes in, all in, protective gear, full on with the suits and everything. And they said, you were exposed to COVID while you were in the emergency room. Great. So it's funny, is that, I've traveled a lot, hanging out with homeless people, going into tent camps and everything. And, I'm very safe. And I go to the hospital and I get it in the emergency room. Well, I'm lucky I didn't get it, but I was exposed to it. So then my last day in the hospital, they finally moved me to an isolation room where I was isolated. And then they Then they put me in official New York State quarantine. So when I go home. So, and I don't know if you guys tell, I'm having trouble breathing still. And they say it's going to take, could be 3 or 4 months before I get better. So what it is, they have blood clots all in here. And with the blood thinner, then the blood clots will eventually dissolve. They don't know how the blood clots, like they did tests on my heart, everything's good. They did ultrasounds on my legs because normally blood clots come from the legs, but that was all good. So they don't know where it comes from. And it's the bat. I'm telling you, it's the bat story. But none of the doctors would agree that it was the bat. I know it's the bat. You might agree with me too. So I'm sticking to the bat story. And I apologize, but the last, like even now, I'm having a little bit of trouble even breathing now. But, the doctor said I'll be all right. They got me on blood thinners. It's going to take me a while to, get the blood clots to dissolve, I guess. I'm going to, well, I already have, I've got to get out of this house. I got to get back to LA. And we are, in the process of making that happen. So you guys have become family. Going into 2021, we're going to grow this show. And I apologize that I haven't uploaded either. I mean, the channel has taken a hit. Our traffic's dropped, everything, but you know what? It's health. You got to be healthy, right? You can't, if you're dead, all the YouTube views and all the YouTube impact doesn't matter, right? So, and we can always grow the channel back. We hopefully will have a new mini documentary to upload this week. And I'm making the decision. Well, let me say, I really am. I'm sorry I haven't kept up with you guys on the live stream. We've been doing Sunday nights, but I just, I didn't think it'd be a great YouTube video of me, breathing hard, right? So I do apologize. I want to thank you guys tremendous. So on the community tab, even while I was in the hospital, because that night, it was Sunday that I normally live stream. So I let you guys know that I couldn't live stream on Sunday. And I read all your guys' responses, and you guys, you made it all better. I want to thank you. So thank you for being the Invisible People family. It's really, really, really touching that we've grown this community, and it's all because of you guys. So anyways, today, we're going a little early, which I don't know, Dano, does that make you happy that we're early? So for those that don't know, Dano's in the UK. See, I'm still a little tight. I don't know if I'm going to go the full hour. I'm going to try. By next week, I should be much, much better. It's still, I'm laughing at you, Dano. It's much, much, much better by next week. But how are you guys doing? Let me say hello to some people in the chat. So how are you? How is everybody doing? Who's here? Who's in the house? No, Robert, the bat didn't bite me. God Tank, love does make the world go round. Matthew, homelessness is an economics issue, but it's also, I think, a moral issue too. I mean, I wasn't gonna. This guys got to stop me, right? Okay, Addie, text me or whatever. If I start ranting because I gotta keep the energy level until I can breathe better. But in this country of ours, the greatest country in the world, there's gazillion dollars. I mean, if you look at since the pandemic started, billionaires have created their worth has gone up trillions of dollars, but those of us down at the bottom, it trickle down doesn't work. And I'm not against rich people having money or middle class. I mean, it's okay to have nice things if you work hard, and you should have nice things. It's okay to have wealth, but where it is greed. If you have billions, I mean, how many billions do you need? That's the issue. It's not that they're making billions, it's what are they doing to make our world a better place? So that's what I mean by it's more than just an economics issue. Hey Billy, I'm going to take care of myself. Yeah, Jay's philosophy. You don't want to not breathe. It's not breathing is the issue. Spool and Turbo, thank you. Hey, Project Trucks, I'm sorry to learn that you're homeless. Hey, Homeless in America, sorry to learn that you're homeless. Jay McCullough, thank you. Jay, I agree. Health comes worse. Yeah, Wookie on fire. Wookie, I like the name. This channel was growing all last year, and there was this huge momentum, and it was amazing. And when I got sick, I haven't been able to upload or work or travel or anything, and the momentum has stopped, and it'll come back. All that matters is you guys are here because you guys are the core group. Anadiqua, I can't stop apologizing. I love you guys. Thank you, Rachel. Beverly, thank you. I'm trying to get better. Oh, I got to turn on the timestamp so I can see. Thank you, April. Okay, thank you. Matthew, thank you. Couple Matthews there. Thank you. You guys are awesome. So what's been new with you guys? How is your 2020? James Bond. Hey, Kizzy Finn. I like the name. Dano likes it better than 1 a.m. Hey, Kathy. Bunch of you can. Maybe we'll go early. So maybe, what do you guys think? Should we do Sunday afternoons? It's really hard for me to find a time. We'll see. Mustafa, thank you. Shannon, do I look healthy? Oh my gosh. That's because I'm excited for pizza. Hey, October 17th. I was just going to ask the same thing. Who who you guys rooting for on the Super Bowl? Thank you, Judy. Kristan, hopefully I'm saying your name right. Financial literacy is so important. I got to tell you, I wish my first homeless shelter um, that well, I wish I'd taught financial literacy as a kid, and then dude, just go away. So after I got out of my first homeless shelter um, and got a job and I was making good money, I went and bought a car and, started spending money. And what I should have done is start investing. Um, New York City cowgirl, I'm all right. Cowgirl, sorry. Matthew, I think it's funny because I bet you, the boomers complained about, I forget, am I X or I forget what generation I am. But uh, I think every generation has complained about youth. Um, so I look at tomorrow's leaders, which is, millennials, Gen Z. Oh my gosh, anonymous, thank you. Wow. Wow. I look at you have no idea how much that helps. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um I look at millennials and Gen Z as the future. So us adults, we've messed up this world, whether you look at climate change or homelessness or affordable housing or, it's just almost unthinkable. And kids these days. So I, right about 3 weeks ago, and I wish I'd recorded it. I did a Zoom with about 60 kids from the Upper West Side of New York City, middle school kids, and it was just amazing. They really care. They really care. So I think I don't know if I'm quite a boomer, but I'm turning 60 soon. Um, and I work with millennials and I love them. And some of the things, drives me crazy. I've learned to change my view of or how I do leadership. I've learned, hey, hi, bye. I'm just going to wipe you out of here. And, but I'm sure, every generation, I mean, gosh, yeah, older generations didn't, hated Elvis and rock and roll and, how kids were. And I think that's kind of just normal as uh, generations come up. Spencer, you what? Hey, and when we go early, we get extra trolls. I bet you Addie and Derek like that. Hi, Homeless in America. This isn't just to answer, it's not really fundraising. I'm not asking for money. Occasionally, I think I've done in the last year one fundraiser where we did a webathon or yeah, webathon. Is that what it's called? Like a telethon, webathon. So on YouTube, there's this thing called super chat where YouTube takes 30%. So if somebody gives $1, 30 cents goes to YouTube. And that's a lot. And I can't stop people from doing super chat, and people are doing super chat. So YouTube has this really nice feature for nonprofits, 100%. So when somebody gives $1, $1 goes to invisible people. And I start that there because if somebody's going to give $1 and I'm grateful for that $1, let's use it all to fight homelessness instead of YouTube making more money. And YouTube should make more money. I mean, if YouTube doesn't make money, then YouTube shuts down. But this isn't really a fundraising live stream. You won't hear me ask people to donate. Like I said, occasionally we do a webinar, a webathon. And in fact, my 60th birthday is coming up, and I've been thinking about doing one, but this isn't really a fundraiser in any way. Okay, chat stop for me. Hey, October 17th. I really do. I like Bruce too. Hold on, I got to refresh here a little. The chat stopped for me. So, homeless in America. Perry Hope, my attraction to LA. So, without going into too much detail, I moved to Los Angeles in 1987. I moved to make it famous in the music industry. I had my 15 and a half minutes of fame. I ended up working in the television industry. I have done both, everything you can think of, both good and bad in Hollywood. And please forget, I'm having a little trouble breathing here. So, but then I ended up homeless on the streets. There's something magical about Los Angeles. I don't believe invisible people, if it was any other city, would become what we are. I don't think it would have launched in any other city. Also, homelessness. I mean, New York City has more homeless people, and every city is hurting, and homelessness is growing. It's a crisis everywhere. But because I was once homeless in Los Angeles, I just have this connection to Los Angeles homelessness. Also, we've done a lot of work there. I lived there for 30 years. Invisible People has done a lot of work there. We have the most impact that in fighting homelessness in Los Angeles. So that's really the attraction. I mean, people say, you know, it's the weather and the food, and yeah, all that's great. But to me, it's the energy. There's a creative energy in Los Angeles that I don't find anyplace else. Carrie Fuller. Oh my gosh, Carrie Fuller's in the house. We're gonna have to, and Lady T, we're going to have to go early on Sundays now. Thank you, Anonymous. Oh my gosh, I just saw that. Carrie, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Anonymous. Wow, there's more people coming in with the. Um, Andrew, I never, I don't know if anybody's ever asked me that. What's the hardest interview? Carrie Fuller was a hard interview because her daughter was in the passenger seat making funny faces. I'll be honest, it's not really the interviews that are hard, it's the ones that I don't get. And what I mean by that is I love Maggie too. I mean, it was so Carrie Fuller is in the chat. Carrie Fuller knows me for many, many years. Carrie Fuller has a video on invisible people. Her and her daughter Maggie, and they were living in a van. And here's a great example. It wasn't the interview that really was hard. I mean, you're trying to do a serious interview, and here's Carrie's daughter, making faces. That's kind of cute. But I remember distinctly what was hard about that was I followed Carrie and her daughter to where they parked to sleep. And that broke my heart. And I from my, I don't remember if Carrie and I had talked about this, but the often homeless people, that's their home. They're used to it. They just, oh, I'm living under this bridge, or this is where I park my car. But for me, because empathy is my my superpower, it's also my liability. But being able to feel, and it might be perceived or not, I mean, that is hard. So often it's the people, either because I won't interview somebody that is too intoxicated, or has too much severe mental illness. So sometimes you run into people that the human spirit, the human condition is like at such a low level. They are like reduced. I've always, and this comes up every time I visit San Francisco. San Francisco is the one city, the one area where I see humans in the worst condition. Hey, Albertina, thank you very much. Smartphones are vital to everybody, not just home. I don't know what you mean by a lemon phone. Wow, load of noise. Are you close to the Super Bowl? Swar, you like that interview? Thank you. Sometimes, so I looks like the video, is the video breaking up a little? So sometimes, unlike a traditional YouTube channel where you have a topic and you go or you make a video that, is targeted to people. And for us, we're a nonprofit. So like using Larry as an example, I never know, I know what videos you guys or people on YouTube would get views. And I probably could intentionally go after them, but that wouldn't be true homelessness. So I try to go to, or I try to, the real authentic stories of homelessness. And sometimes they're not going to get a lot of views and sometimes they are. And it's not about views. It's about educating the public because we are a nonprofit. We aren't a YouTuber in that way. But there's been occasions where there's videos that whatever reason, the story didn't move me that much. And then I post it and you guys like it. And that's what's important. So the marketing lesson there is don't market to yourself. Kevin, I have been to Kensington. I don't know if I remember being in a Needle Park. I haven't been to Kensington in quite some time. A couple years. Hey, I think Shoshana, we do get a little bit of grant funding. What we do is kind of unique. Homeless in America, I will. Vincent Billings, this is my day job. Cosmico 2019, thanks for the kind words. Hey, Croatia. My last name is Horvath, and my Horvath means Croatia. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, we made it 45 minutes. So next week, I have invited a special guest. And we're going to try to get back to doing more produced shows where there's going to be a guest and we'll talk about current events. When I get back to Los Angeles, which I hope will be early April at the latest, hopefully sooner, I'm going to try to do something really cool. I just can't make it happen here. So for a while, I've really, and you guys that have been following me, and we've talked about depression and anxiety and COVID, and this live chat is more about being real than just homelessness. And I'm going to have to really push at getting this house cleaned up and sold. I got to get out of here. I mean, we can joke about the bat and the blood clots. For those of you that are new or just tuned in, I have blood clots in my lungs. I was in the hospital about a week ago. And the reason for that is lack of movement, and the lack of movement was going through depression. So I got to get out of here. And to do this, normally, I'd be traveling, and making all kinds of stuff happen. But for the next couple of months, I really got to focus on getting back to LA. Now, on a plus side, we have a new mini documentary coming out shortly, and I'm depending on how I can breathe. This morning, I told people that I would visit this week, and now I'm having a little trouble breathing, so I don't know if I can. I'm going to go to the tent camps in Ithaca. I've normally, as many of you know, I've gone every year to the jungle. I haven't been able to do that recently. No, Angel, I don't remember the Hartaki. Lady T, I love you. I don't think I've lost weight. I have a pizza coming. So those of you that don't know, it's Super Bowl Sunday was the only day that my mom would allow beer in the house. And so I'm going to celebrate. I've been, I was in the hospital for a week and I've been home for about a week, and it's going to be a couple months to recover because I have blood clots in my lungs. And, but I've been eating healthy, and Lady T says she's noticed. So hopefully it's working, but I'm going to splurge. I can't have beer. So I got a meat lovers pizza from Pizza Hut coming. I pre-scheduled it. I don't know, we live in a world now where delivery, I mean, even my homeless friends are getting food delivered DoorDash. Maria, I don't know. I mean, I have no affinity for either the Chiefs or Tampa. I really don't know. Which one do you guys like? Andrew, that is exactly what it is. It's going to be a cheat day. Cheat day. See, Derek lives in a tent camp up in Oakland. So when I was a kid, oh my gosh, I was so into New York Jets. Oh man, I had football. But then as I grew up, football just wasn't really a thing for me, anyways. Cheat year, yeah, that's where I got in problems. Yeah, I like Pops Freeman. If you Google him, there's a couple other YouTube videos of him that are really neat. Tom, I agree. Sports, well, unless it's fishing. Fishing, so there's a lot of these petitions around just for about anything, but one of them is that Netflix would have fishing shows. Babe Winkleman. How many of you know who Babe Winkleman is? Don't Google it. That's cheating. Craig, I am whack. Box diet, pizza. Okay, we're coming down to the last 10 minutes. Hey, Auntie D, I don't know if you did a $2 anonymous and went through as anonymous, but thank you for your support. Melka in the house. Thank you, Lady T. So you know what? Maybe this is do you guys like it better this time? I think maybe we got to figure out a day to do it. Uh-oh. Derek's bribing us with fish. If he wins to be the mayor, he's going to have a fish fry. He learned that from Andrew Yang. Hey, Dominic, thank you. So John Goodwin, John asks, Mark, when you meet someone on the street, it's a tough struggle to know whether you're supporting a scam or addiction. I get about 6 or 7 phone calls from companies telling me oh no, the shoot. My laptop is about to go. We only have a few seconds left. Anyways, Enron, Bernie Madoff, rich people have scanned and lied far more than all homeless people. We've been going off battery. I forgot to plug in my laptop and the cord is over there somewhere. So we're almost at the end. Now we know we can do an almost hour show just on battery level. But anyway, John, that's a good question. A lot of people think that way. Most homeless people, and there's actually research. If you go to Invisible People and you look under panhandling as a topic, or giving money to homeless people is okay, you can search Invisible People. I have an article about this and it links to the research. Most people that are panhandling, when they're asking for food, they're going to buy food. I mean, how many times have you been ripped off by a store? Or I mean, there's this bad part of society and people that some people aren't honest. Yeah, there's some homeless people lying. There's a lot more rich people lying. And look at our friggin', you guys are going to get me to rant. Good thing the power's going off because I'm going to lose my breathing, right? Look at our Congress, right? Look at just what happened, with Trump's dishonesty cost us $512 million, all those lies, right? So you just have to put it on some perspective. I'm glad you asked that question, but in reality, most homeless people are really, good people, honest, just trying to get by, So anyways, folks, my laptop is warning me I'm about to shut down because I didn't plug it in. And I did not. Addie just texted me about screens or something. I did. My computer must be shutting down. I got to go. So everybody, have a good Super Bowl Sunday. We'll look into maybe doing it earlier. It seems like you guys like the earlier. Thank you, everybody that donated. Thank you, Addie, for and Derek for moderating. Thank you, everybody, for your kind words. And we will see you next week. Right now, it's still at 8 o'clock, but looks like you guys like the earlier time, so maybe we will start looking into doing it earlier. Thank you all. Have a good week. And again, oh my gosh, you guys, as I was recovering or even while I was in the hospital, the comments that you guys, they helped me get through it, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, guys.